Right, I want to welcome to the show Michelle Evans. She is a political activist, and she has quite the story to tell. We were just talking about how messed up the Texas Capitol is, but this is a completely different issue that you experienced at the Texas Capitol that has resulted in DPS investigating you. So please explain, just kind of from start to finish, what is going on.
So myself and a few other, well, dozens of other activists arrived at the Capitol early in the morning of May 12th to watch history be made and see SB 14 voted into law. While we were there, I was escorting older women to the bathroom because they felt uncomfortable going. They knew that there was a possibility that men would be there. And in
Which
fact,
is in Texas.
Yes, in Texas. And at the Capitol, where laws are made and should be upheld. But we went into the bathroom. There was probably 6 or 7 women with me. And lo and behold, a man came in, used the stall. And when he came out, you know, while he was in there, I told people very quietly, there's a man here, so that they would know, you know, if they're not comfortable with that they would wait. He came out, washed his hands. I went and opened the door, the entry door for the bathroom, and held it open until he was done. And as he was exiting, I said, next time you use the bathroom across the hall, that's the men's bathroom. Do not come back in here. And he looked at me and said, well, legally I'm a woman, which whatever that means. Right. But, and I said, that doesn't matter, that this is not your bathroom. This is a women's space. And then when I returned to the gallery, a friend of mine in there said, oh yeah, so-and-so had posted it on Facebook already. And I said, okay, go ahead and send me the picture. So he did. I received the picture basically third hand, not knowing that a picture was taken in there, and tweeted it out and said, basically, this is probably not gonna be the last time I have to tell a man to not use the women's bathroom at the Capitol today. There are several school field trips, elementary school field trips at the Capitol at the time with young girls, so you never know who you're going to be in the bathroom with. It went viral, and about 8 hours later, a DPS lieutenant approached me in the House gallery and asked me to come outside for a few questions. They ultimately took me to a holding office in the Capitol and illegally detained me and illegally seized my phone, which I still do not have. The lieutenant that spoke to me said, we received several reports about this photo that you took, and I said I didn't take the photo, and that was where the conversation ended, but he continued to, you know, escort me to the holding room. But he said that the Travis County District Attorney had also received calls and had taken an interest in the case. So without a search warrant, they seized my phone. They basically told me, you can leave, but your phone cannot. So I wasn't allowed to leave until I gave my phone up. I still don't have the phone. I have no idea what's happening with charges. I don't know ultimately what the charge will be, if they're going to apply this ridiculous situation to a sex offense. I'm not really sure. It's kind of hanging in the balance.
And the Travis County DA is, of course, it's a Soros DA,
funded,
the same DA that Daniel Penny and Daniel Perry are in the news at the same time. It's hard to remember who is who, but he is the same one who went ahead with charges against him, even though he very clearly was trying to defend his own life. So did you find out why the Travis County DA got involved? How did they get tipped off?
So this man's friend is an attorney, and he saw the photo on Twitter, retweeted it, as did 1,500 people, retweeted it and said, this is a felony, please report it, tagged Jose Garza, who's the Travis County DA. And this is the same DA who 3 weeks prior received 3 people who had been arrested during a transurrection for the first reading of SB 14. People who had to be restrained in the gallery and in the Capitol and were arrested on several charges. This DA dropped all of those charges and let these people go.
Of course.
So there was I complied every step of the way. I haven't done anything to put me in anybody's crosshairs, but this attorney retweeted it and encouraged everybody to report it to Jose Garza, to DPS. They then started to share GPS coordinates of my home. They shared photos of my home. They doxed my address. They sent deliveries to my home that evening that we had not ordered, and it was like midnight. And then a few days later posted my address in an ad on Craigslist. So I had 3 creepers come to my house looking for something that wasn't there. So
trying to threaten you, intimidate you, dox you because you said you're a man and you're not allowed in this restroom.
Yeah, for standing up for women and girls in the house where, you know, things should be followed to a T, law should be followed to a T, and the ultimate violation here is that these women that were in that bathroom at the time did not consent to having a man in that bathroom. That man did not care about their consent, did not care if these women were uncomfortable, if they felt unsafe. It's more about this man's feelings than it is about.
So what's the next step here? You just have to, your entire life is just in limbo until they decide whether or not they want to move forward with charges? Like what is it, where does it stand now?
I mean, there were obviously some civil rights violations, so I have some attorney advising me, and how we move forward really depends on what DPS's next steps are. But in the meantime, you know, I'm finding more and more out about this man that was in the bathroom, and it just validates the concerns about having men in women's spaces. He is a 47-year-old man who up until 2 years ago was presenting as a man, bearded, writes erotic poetry about women and girls, considers himself a trans woman, lesbian, feminist, however that goes together. And is running for state house now.
Oh. Oh, good.
Wants to make history.
Oh, that's good. Well, he seems very mentally stable.
Yes.
So that would be great. He'd fit right in.
Yeah. And in the environment now, yes, absolutely.
Sarah, I don't just mean to interject, but I've got a couple questions. Sure. You're telling me I'm restraining.
He's processing right
now.
now.
As a father of 2 girls, he wouldn't hear from me, don't come back here. It would be a different situation, because when you have an 8, 9, 10-year-old girl, they go into the bathroom by themselves, and I was in that Capitol a day after you, and there was probably 65 middle school kids and girls in and out of bathrooms in that place. And we are heading towards a place in this state, I'm telling you, where the citizens are going to take things into their own hands. You're telling me the DA got involved within a matter of hours?
Yes.
Not even, okay? Understand what I'm saying here. They're on speed dial. Anything LGBTQ, they've primed the pump, if you know what I mean. They're waiting for it. They're looking for an opportunity, and they picked you. You didn't take the picture. Do you know who took the picture?
I now do. I didn't at the time.
But it wasn't you, right?
No, it wasn't me.
I would say go on the offense.
Yeah.
Immediately. You throw the book at them, doxing your house, your address. If you don't have a pit bull lawyer, I got some for you. You go after them like white on rice. You don't stop. You don't care for these people, Sarah. What happened to this amazing patriot was reflected in the vote against Ken Paxton. That's why in the same house, they'll let a creep walk into a women's bathroom where there could be a middle school girl in the stall next door, and it's reflected. The coward spoke. And then McCarthy reflected it up top at the GOP. We've got a bunch of cowards in the GOP. You know why? Because they couldn't get elected as Democrats, so they run as Republicans. And we vote them in. And that's what we have. I'm sorry this has happened to you, but this is your moment where you fight. I told Carrie Lake the same thing the other day. You double down, you go on the offense. You don't sit and lose sleep over this. You pray, you hold on to God, and you charge.
Yeah. As the mom of 2 daughters and 1 young man, I mean, this is it's a worthy fight. And
your kids are watching.
Yes. And it underscores how much unfinished business we have legislatively, that this guy can change the sex on his driver's license, that he can be in that bathroom in the first place. Because we had legislation in 2017 that was ultimately killed that would have prevented this situation. But it's been such a battle just to get sports, you know, to have Save Women's Sports passed.
Right.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.